Hello students, welcome back. This is part 2 of the 2019 Biology State Test. So let's begin. Number 9. The following question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. Scientists determined that longer hind leg length is directly correlated to faster running speed in rabbits. The scientists investigate how an introduced predator in the rabbit's ecosystem affects the running speed of the rabbit population. The graph shows running speed data from the rabbit population and running speed data from the introduced species. So let's look at our picture here. We have the number of rabbits going from bottom to top. We have the running speed going from left to right, slowest to fastest. We have the current generation of rabbits in solid black line, and the predator speed in the dotted red line. Okay? So now let's see what the question 9, part A is asking. Which graph shows the expected running speed of the rabbits selected after 50 generations due to the introduced predator? Well, we can see here in A that the average rabbit speed now is above the predator speed in A. In B, we can see that the average rabbits have gone down since the predator, and the extremes, the slowest and the fastest, have continued to grow. In C, we see that the average speed of the rabbit has gotten slower. And in D, we see that the average speed of the rabbit got stronger. Well, the answer is obvious. What would happen is the rabbits would have to get faster. So then the average rabbit in the population would have to be faster than the predator to be able to survive and reproduce. So the answer for part A of 9 is A. Okay, let's look at part B. Click on the blank boxes and select the phenotype frequency within the rabbit population after 50 generations due to the introduction of the new predator. There may be more than one correct answer. So this is our phenotype frequency of rabbits. Okay, these are short legs, average legs, and long legs. Before the predators, we had our frequencies 20% short, 60% average, and 20% long. But we know after the predators came, we have more long legs. So let's increase that, because that became the average. Then the average legs, well, we have less of them, so let's make them 30. And then the short legs, well, because more has gone to the long and more have gone to the average, let's make that 10. Now, we got to make sure we come up with 100%. So 60, 30%, and 10%, that's 100%. So that ends our attempt at question number 9, and we're able to move on. Question number 10. The following question has 2 parts. First, answer A, then answer B. Part A. Students investigate how light intensity affects the rate of photosynthesis in an aquatic plant. This setup is shown in the diagram. So it shows us the light intensity investigation. So we have a light, we have a plant inside of a test tube with water, and some bubbles are coming out of it. And we can see that we can move the light closer to the plant or farther away from the plant. The students place a light at different distances from the plant and record the number of bubbles produced. Their data are shown in the table. So as you can see here, 0.1 meters is the closest to the light is closest to the plant, and 0.5 meters is the farthest away the light is from the plant. And as you can see, most of the bubbles are made at the 0.1 and 0.2, and the farther away you have less bubbles being produced. Which inference is supported by the data? Let's skip A right now. B, the plant takes in more water than the light intensity decreases. Okay? There's no data regarding water exchange. C, the plant requires more energy for photosynthesis at lower light intensities. This is incorrect. The rate of photosynthesis decreases, but the energy requirement do not change. D, the plant needs less carbon dioxide for photosynthesis at higher light intensities. This is incorrect. The plant would require a greater amount of carbon dioxide to photosynthesize a greater rate. The correct answer is A. The plant produces more oxygen as the light intensity increases. Okay? The number of bubbles indicate the oxygen production. So the closer the light is to the plant, the more oxygen being produced. So A is our answer. Part B. Which graph shows the relationship between the rate of photosynthesis and light intensity? If we look at A, we have the rate of photosynthesis going up and the light distance from the plant, so that we're taking the light farther from the plant. We're going to the right. In this, in A, this shows that the rate of photosynthesis increases as you get away from the light, which is not what we saw in the experiment. Okay? Now, this one shows photosynthesis increasing as you get farther away and then leveling off and then going down. No, that's not the case. Okay? Now, C, this shows you photosynthesis. Okay? The rate of photosynthesis is high and it goes down as you move the light from the plant. So our answer would be C. Okay, and D, well, that would just show that there was no changes. So again, C shows us when you move the light intensity away from the plant, photosynthesis decreases. Question labeled 12. Scientists discover a new species of bacteria that has a similar genetic makeup as previously studied bacterial species. Which investigated tool should be used to genetically compare the new bacteria to the previously studied bacteria? Okay, so let's go. Let's see, what should we use to compare the bacteria to the previously studied bacteria? Should we use gene therapy? No. Gene therapy is the process by which genes are inserted in the genome of another organism. The chi-squared test? No. This is incorrect. The chi-square test is used to analyze the distribution of alleles or phenotypes in a population. Let's skip C. D. Electron microscope. Electron microscopes are used to observe structures or objects too small to be viewed effectively with a light microscope. The correct answer is gel electrophoresis. Okay? It can be used to compare the size of pieces of DNA among the related species. Remember gel electrophoresis? We put the DNA at the top of the gel, put the electricity through it, and the fragments of DNA settle out, and we can compare that DNA to other DNA. So the correct answer for number 12 is C, gel electrophoresis. Okay, let's look at question labeled 13. Two subspecies of tuft ear squirrels have been observed near the Grand Canyon. Scientists believe that these two squirrels evolved from a common population of squirrels that lived in the Ponderosa pine forest that once grew in what is now the Grand Canyon. The Kaibid squirrel is found on the north side of the canyon, and the Albert squirrel is found on the south side. Which statement explains the formation of the two subspecies from the original population of tuft ear squirrels? Okay, let's look at our choices. A. Similar selection pressures on each side of the canyon cause fur color mutations to occur in the two populations. This is incorrect. Natural selection does not cause mutations to occur. Let's get B. C. The original population was able to find similar habitats in many small pockets of connected forests remaining around the Grand Canyon. This is incorrect. A similar habitat alone would not have led to speciation. Speciation is caused by restriction of gene flow between populations. D. Natural land bridges connecting the two sides of the canyon allow gene flow to occur between the populations after the ponderosa forest disappeared. This is incorrect. Bridges connecting the population will allow them to share a single gene pool as genes would flow between them. These populations were isolated. The correct answer is B. As the canyons formed and the ponderosa forest disappeared, the original population was split into two isolated populations. Divergence of a species into subspecies or eventually new species occur due to a restriction of gene flow between the population. Habitat isolation prevented the squirrels from mating and the population evolved independently. Remember, reproductive isolation is what causes a new species. So the answer for number 13 is B. Question number 14. The graph shows the population growth of an organism over time. On our graph, we can see the number of organisms going from bottom to top and time going from left to right. And we can see the carrying capacity here with A. What shift in population growth has occurred by point A? Well, let's look at our choices, but let's skip A. B. The rate of emigration equals the death rate. Remember, emigration means leaving the population. This is incorrect. Carrying capacity is not determined by the equivalence of the emigration and the death rates. C. The population sizes of the organisms and its predators are equalized. This is incorrect. If there is the same number of predators as prey, there will not be enough food for the predators. D. There will be more food available than the population can consume. This is incorrect. If there is an unlimited food supply, the population is likely to continue to grow. The correct answer is A. Carrying capacity occurs when the death rate and the birth rate in a population are equal. So for number 14, A is the correct answer. Okay, that concludes part 2 of the 2019 Biology State Test. Thank you.